What's up everybody, it's Benjamin Bay here bringing you another LEGO video, and this time I will show you several techniques you can use to display your LEGO sets or collection in a more epic way. On a budget, because that's something that matters, right? Obviously you have all the money and parts in the world, you can go as crazy as you want with detailed scenery and whatnot, but by using these simple methods you can still achieve some nice yet inexpensive results. Ready, set, frame! Because that's the first method that is also dirt cheap. All you need is some photo frames. The ones you see right now are €2 each, and you can get them in a ton of different varieties. There's gold, silver, black, white, different sizes, different frame borders. And the great thing about these is that they not only protect whatever you're framing, but they can also be placed on a table or a wall. Here you can see an example of something that you can frame that comes with nearly every LEGO set ever made. Instructions. The frame I used there was 13 by 18 centimeters, and I find that most smaller sized instructions will fit in there. You may have to tinker around with it a little bit. Depending on what type of instructions you have, this can be a great way to show your set in its natural environment. I particularly like to do this with older instructions because they tend to have more character, so to speak. In this example of Toho Kopaka with the framed instructions, the canister, and of course the set itself. In my opinion, this already makes it look much better, much more substantial as well, as opposed to just having the figure there. Speaking of canisters, you can also frame part of the box, as I've done here with the large box from set 8285. Obviously, if it's an older box and it's still intact, you probably don't want to cut it, but in this example the box was already beyond recovery. So I just cut out the front, framed it, and now I can hang it on the wall. Something I also did with this 1000 piece puzzle that took quite some time to put together. Another neat thing to frame are trading cards. For the record, without glue here. These are sleeved and then held up by friction only. This is an example of the cards from my J and G set that I've grown kind fond of, and I'm happy to be able to display it like this. Somehow even the original box survived, which is currently resting on one of those acrylic stands that you'll often see in bookstores. But they're relatively expensive, and if you don't have them, you can easily create something similar with just a few technical lift arms and pins. By using stands like these, you can also display comics or books, particularly useful for themes with a lot of lore, such as Bionicle. I like to do this a lot because it gives the set a story, which makes it go beyond the figure, beyond the plastic brick. Next up, if you are willing to add a few extra LEGO pieces, you can add display value to your set by increasing options for articulation, or by adding energy effects. LEGO has done this a lot over the past years, and I particularly like to use them on Bionicle builds. You can use anything from electricity, plasma bursts, tornadoes, or even illegal builds like these flames to spice things up. A special mention goes out to these newer type ball socket connectors that have more friction and thus allow you to display your older models in a much more articulated way that wouldn't otherwise have been possible. Other techniques include improving the lighting in the area, for example by using smart light bulbs. You can also got the RGB ones, in case you want to go with a specific color. But also displaying according to a certain criteria, like having a futuristic corner or a historic corner, or sorting a collection by color. As I've done here, where there is a transition from left to right, from red to orange, to black, to green, and then eventually blue, which I think looks much better than if I would just scramble it and put them in order randomly. If you find yourself low on space, you can add wall shelves, as I've done here. It's a great way to create extra room for your mocks. Highly recommend it. It takes a little bit more effort of course, but I think it's well worth it. However, most importantly, of all the tips here, remember that less can be more. Personally, I don't see the point of people cramming all their LEGO sets on a shelf just because they want to display them all at the same time. I'd much rather just display a few and then swap them out every now and then. That just makes a lot more sense to me. You may also want to scale down your collection a little bit, but that's of course a personal choice. So those are just some ideas and examples. I'm sure there are lots of other techniques. If you would like to add one, feel free to leave a comment below. For now, I want to thank you for watching, have fun building, and I will see you next time when a new idea washes up on the shore of a golden beach.